It absolutely was. The off-season wasn't just a tough time for me, it was a tough time for the whole team, because I think as a group, we felt we were capable of much more. We didn't feel that 10th place in the standings was what we were, let's say, deserving of from the season. But that's the great thing about sport. It's brutal. You can think you're better, but actually you're only as good as your last result. And we were hugely disappointed how we finished season 6. But looking back, that gave us an extra determination and an extra motivation for season 7. And I think to go out in the first race and score a podium was just a great reward for all of that hard work in the off-season. And the difficulty in sport is the roller coaster of emotions. You have a great weekend and you feel on top of the world. You have a bad weekend and it can be painful. And there were painful months in the winter. And then, of course, the season start being delayed meant we had even longer to wait before we could get racing again. So I think that was a tough time to look back on, but it was what made us who we are today. Of course, it was my first, when I look back, it was my first year into a completely new role, and there was a lot of issues to solve in the team. The team had a fantastic core. It had all the elements that I felt were necessary, but it needed a lot of, let's say, restructuring to make it into the team it is today. And there's no part that I look back on and regret. There's nothing I would do differently, because we're where we are now. I'm incredibly lucky to have fantastic people in the team, and I'm hugely proud of the energy and the people we have in the team. So I think if I look back on my performance in the first season, there was a lot that I learned, but there's nothing I would go back and change. And I think in a very short space of time, we've achieved an incredible amount as a team. You know, we've switched to Mercedes-Benz Power, we've built a new showroom, we have a new simulator, we have brilliant new commercial partners on board, we have a fantastic, strong team. So I look back much more with pride than with any regret. It was really funny after, obviously, the double overtake happened, because I said to Edo after the race, I'm super in awe of the move, but one thing's clear, it went spectacularly right, but it also could have gone spectacularly wrong. And he said, you're absolutely right. You know, I was centimeters away of wiping one car out, but that's motorsport. There's a very fine line between hero and zero, and on that day, he was the hero. And for us as a team, I mean, if you would have seen the reaction in the garage when he pulled it off, we were just, you know, absolutely euphoric. And that's the beauty of racing. It can dig up emotions and passions inside you, which are hard to replicate anywhere else.